Yo, 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 happy Sunday and welcome everybody to another episode of Four Corners Legacy Podcast. I'm your host, Valley Uno.
I'm Dzel. Was cracking.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Tusab Shakur.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about social media and television. So really just media all the way around. And the question is social media and television brainwashing society as a whole? So that's the question we're going to be posing. But we currently got one of our co-hosts is having a little bit of issues getting on. So we can kind of just rock it out until she's able to get it in. Deez, I see you repping your boys today, huh? You feeling real cowboyish out there today.
Yeah, no matter what, win, lose, or draw.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, my squad been out the mix, so I ain't even really looking at no football right now.
My squad got the Knicks too.
I holler when the Super Bowl come around, you know.
I'm going for the Cowboys. I'm a Raider fan, but I'm going for the Cowboys because I can't stand the Niners.
Oh yeah, it's always against them. You know, it's never. You know, it's always against against the Niners, no matter who they playing.
For real,
I'll never rock with them.
Never.
Yeah. Against the Niners, no matter who they playing.
For real,
I'll never rock with them.
Never. Who's got that echo?
Oh, that'd be me. Trying to make sure I'm all good. Don't talk too crazy.
I'll slap you across the screen.
Come on with it and let it fly. Oh man.
Okay.
Mama, what's going on?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's hard out here for a pimp right now.
It's all good.
Thank you guys for getting started and everything. I'll jump right in. I'm just still trying to fix my camera to my phone, so bear with me. I'm listening.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Yeah, we hadn't really jumped into the topic yet because I knew you was gonna get it figured out real quick, so we didn't even want to start without you.
Okay, yeah. Appreciate it.
No doubt. So how was your week? How's everything been on your end, on your side of the fence?
It's been good. A busy week. Just working and trying to stay in a good mental state through all the ups and downs. But I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, no doubt.
How y'all doing?
Oh man, I'm good. I mean, it's you know how it is, getting through the week and trying to balance out the different responsibilities, priorities, and all that. But you know, hey, we made it. We back again. Five episodes. You know, we 5 episodes.
I'm so happy about
good.
That.
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm crooked right now, and so I'm still working on my background. So, does that look better, you guys? Does that look better?
Yeah. Oh. Rotate it the other way. Rotate it the other way.
Okay.
Because at least that way you got the same angle. I mean, the same. Your screen is lined up the same as the rest of us.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay. All right. So I know the topic today is social media and television brainwashing society. I think that's a good topic because there's so many different ways to look at it and points of views. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I'm gonna look up the definition of brainwashing before I just fall into.
Good idea. Because I was thinking about the same thing. I was like, well, you can be programmed to do something after 21 days. If 21 days you start forming a habit, programming and brainwashing will seem real easy then, right?
I don't know. I think I want to wait for his definition because I think it's going to align with what I want to say anyway. So I'm going to wait for the definition before I jump in on that.
Well, here goes the definition. It says the process of pressuring someone into adopting radically differently beliefs by using systematic and often forcible means. Why is it
Huh.
echo?
I don't know. Somebody got two things open, obviously. Or somebody's volume is up too loud.
Let me try to turn my volume down. But I don't have anything else open.
All right, let me read that again. The process of pressuring someone into adopting radically, period, different beliefs by using systematic and often forcible means.
Yeah, and I think that's why I don't know. I don't think that I could call it brainwashing. I think that because I've said it before. Social media is set up to where a individual's social media experience is based on the pages that they follow and interact with. So it's individualized. You know what I mean? It's not like you're forced to watch what's on social media. It's what you tap in with, which is a
Right.
reflection of what you're already interested in. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
So I think that it can influence people to make some of their viewpoints more stronger, but I definitely don't think it's brainwashing nobody. Folks is tapped in with what they want to tap in with.
right.
What's it's doing is dramatizing things that are meaningless is what it's doing. It's
Mhm.
giving time to things that don't matter, that really don't matter. Is
Right,
what
right,
it's
right.
doing.
You got a lot of back and forth and some of these debates that are being had on social media, and it's like, why even fuck with shit that you know some of that stuff need to be left alone because it ain't doing nothing but making it worse. Making the people choose sides and stuff like that.
It makes me think of like in high school they had the different clubs and whatever, Black Student Union, book club, whatever, all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Whatever's being discussed in those clubs, it's not like the club is causing people to think that way. It's a central place for people who are already aligned on a specific way of thinking to come together. And that's what social media has done. It's like, oh, I'm not the only one thinking like this. It's this person, and we can all kind of collab together and bring our thoughts together and speak, have our own little, find our voice out in public by means of social media.
Right.
But people is already really thinking the way they thinking about the shit. You know what I mean? It's just social media provides them a platform to express them thoughts. But it ain't brand new though. Yeah, I think when we talk about we look at the things people say about misogyny, masculinity, femininity, the feminist movement, LGBTQ, all that stuff gets all kind of airplay on social media. And we can say, oh man, it's brainwashing society. But the whole thing is a member of society generated the post to begin with. So the
Right.
thought was already there. It's just that it gives it widespread attention through social media versus what we've always known as media being the television outlets. That was more of a brainwashing because you have no control over what's going to be put in front of you. You turn on channel 3, whatever they playing is whatever they playing.
Right. Yeah, that's where the brainwashing is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but then you have the choice to turn to channel 10 or turn. So then you're programming
They're
yourself.
literally saying the same thing on all those channels.
Right.
Because they showed that on basically channel 10, 3, whatever, 58, all those broadcasts, the newscasters are literally using the same exact verbiage on all those channels.
Mm-hmm.
Describe something. They're not leaving nothing open for they're trying to paint one picture for you to adopt that way on those networks.
Yeah, because if we include the news, if you turn on the news, it's going to be, no matter what channel you watch it locally on, it's going to be playing the same kind of stories. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then even the television programming, with the different sitcoms or whatever, you don't have no choice over what's being put in front of you. Sure, you can make a selection based on what's being offered, but you don't have no choice of what's being put in front of you. Versus you get on Instagram or Facebook, and you can literally search, positive vibes, and then follow pages that pump out positive. You can go in there and hand pick what's going to be put in front of you, for the majority anyway. I know the algorithm is still going to slide whatever they want up in there, but majority speaking, you can hand pick what your social media experience is going to look like.
Well, you do, because I know, because what I listen to most often is when I go to it, that's what pops up on my timeline. So I agree with that.
I will say though, because everybody in society, there's whether what are you talking about, young people or people that are just mindless, everybody ain't got their own personal identity. So there is a percentage of us that's going on social media with the hopes of trying to figure out who they is, what's important to them, what they want to talk about, what they can conversate about in a circle of friends or whatever, you know what I mean? So I think it still goes both ways. There's a heavy influence on the minds of people who have yet to really figure themselves out as individuals.
And that's where the huge influence goes to people who are looking for direction, and they're able to be misled in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
go ahead.
What I was going to say is, again, I can't help but think that it has a lot to do with mindset, though. I mean, for a child that's impressionable, yes, you can send sublims and stuff like that. But for adults who are picking what they want to watch, then they're making a conscious choice to watch that, and that's what continues to come through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
But see, now that's where it gets tricky, because you can damn near brainwash yourself by having control of what you pick. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not really realizing it, you can be like, okay, bam, I want to see this type of stuff on my feed, and the next thing you know, it might be harmful if you ingest too much of that.
Yes.
It might separate you mentally or socially in a way that you necessarily wouldn't be getting separated. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
I totally agree with that. And that's 100% true. That's why as adults, we can at least be mindful and conscious of that. How do we, should parents monitor what their kids are looking at on social media? Do you believe that parents should put those parental caps on and things like that, so that we can kind of protect the youth still?
Yeah.
I agree. I think they should.
Yeah. I mean, if you, because really it's virtual, but it's still them stepping out into the world. You make sure that you protect him when they step outside of the house. Literally, they stepping out into a different realm when they get on social media, so they still need that protection.
Yeah.
Well, that also falls back on that the parents.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That parents aren't raising their kids like how they should. Social media is raising our kids. They sit in front of their phone, the computer, iPad, or whatever. That's what's raising our kids. Parents aren't taking the time to put those blocks up.
I just want to talk about this comment right here, where she says brainwashing.
Because as I read it, I could not do nothing but laugh.
Hey, because it's real, and that's why I said what I said earlier. But she says brainwash self. That's for real, because sometimes I crave drama from Krishan and Blueface, and the reason why that was so funny to me is because I just watched the entire, from front to back, start to finish, no jumper interview of him and her. And I don't even really follow none of that. But on that particular day, I was like, I need to see this, you know.
You know what it boils down to with her? She wants the spotlight. She latched on to somebody who was already under the spotlight, and she wants to just steal the whole entire spotlight. And that's
I think it's so much deeper than that.
I do too. And so I want to stay on topic here. I want to stay on topic because that's going to run me to a whole nother place. It just does boil down to sometimes we want to see some drama though. Like, or sometimes you might want to watch an action-packed movie. You know, you might want to go through, or sometimes you might want to watch a love story. So yes, it's everything done in moderation is okay then. But
moderation is the key word.
Right. Because I use, people ask me, you know, why do you watch like the Housewives of Atlanta or Potomac, or I don't see how you watch that stuff. And it's like, for me, it is a form of escapism. I don't find myself being brainwashed because I don't live the lifestyle that they live, but sometimes it is a form of escapism from my reality.
I hear you on that. And I think, because I know I'm one of the people that have asked you that. And the reason why I asked the question is because I look at, you know, our mental space as sacred ground. And, you know, so because we know that the things that we see and take in visually and audibly, that it's going to influence our mind. There's no way to get around it. That's the reason why marketing is done the way it is, all of that. It's going to influence our thinking. So for me, it's like, why would I take something and put it on the fertile soil of my sacred ground of my mental space if it's not going to bear, you know, positive fruit? That's the only reason why, you know, I mean, I understand like watching stuff
because I mean, at the
entertainment
same time,
purposes, but like, it doesn't have the ability to cause you to unknowingly begin to exhibit some of the behaviors you see, or even think like some of the people you see on the show.
I haven't had a fight in years, so I'm going to say no, because I haven't had a fight in years, so I don't feel like it's influencing me to have fights but I argue on my own. I don't need no damn reality TV to push me to argue. But I also listen to a lot of inspirational stuff. So I feel in my personal world that there's a balance. You know, I have a balance because I'm not just ingesting that negative stuff. And I don't even watch it as much as I used to, but sometimes I do like I listen to it, you know, I wanna see it. Or I got this new thing with Power and BMF. Does that mean I'm going to start a drug cartel if I keep watching it?
You might.
I might.
No, but one thing I will say is that that's what I meant. There's no way around the influence part. You know, if you watch something, you're gonna be influenced, you know. And the reason why I know this to be true is because I watch a lot of crime shows, okay, centered around violence, you know, people being, and there are times when, you know, like I said in the other episode, I be road raging. So there's times when I'm on road rage mode and I have to be like, damn, I just said that out loud. You know, some of the stuff I've been saying, you know, so it came from somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, I just have to acknowledge that, you know, sometimes.
Well, so how long does it
violence that I be speaking, you know, because I'm like this. If I can speak it out loud, then I have a better chance of not ramming this truck up this fool's ass while he just cut me off. So let me say it out loud. But sometimes it's so extreme that I'd be like, ooh, you just said that? You know, where did that come from? What you been looking at? You know what I mean? Or maybe it came from within. I don't know. But I just think we can be influenced.
Yeah, they can't hear you anyway. You know, they can't hear you at all.
I muted it.
He did that intentionally.
No, I'm saying when you road rage and the other driver and you're like, motherfucking this and all that, they can't hear you. All they can say is moving your mouth.
Oh shit.
Mhm.
Siblings, can I ask you real quick, did everybody attach the destinations and fix their destinations? I do see we have some viewers, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody went in there.
Yeah, I did. I
Playing on
did.
Facebook.
Yeah. And shout out to Karmic Fruition. She be tapping in. We appreciate
Yes,
I can
she
get it
is
out
a
my
regular
mouth. We
viewer.
appreciate you. You
Yes.
know?
We got a regular viewer. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
And anybody else who is watching, feel free to put your comments in there. Thank you for watching the show today. And as you can see on the screen, it's about social media and television brainwashing society. So chime in. We want to get some feedback.
Well, right now, me and you don't have any viewers. It's Ali Uno has 1 viewer, and Tusav has 2.
Wow. Okay. Well, that is not, and I don't believe I'm attached to mine. Let me check and see if mine is playing on my Facebook.
Thank you for those who chimed in on my end. Thank you very much.
Yay. Do you know who they
yeah,
are?
we're gonna have to talk about that later because I still don't know how he be looking at all that. But that's another subject later on, you know.
But back to our subject, that I think that social media is having a lasting effect on our kids, which I always bring up the kids because they're our future, and it's making them be depressed. Their anxiety level is getting higher. They're doing things that that they wouldn't normally put themselves in things that they wouldn't normally do because they're trying to hang with the in crowd or whatever. But
well, it makes them feel like, because social media, the majority of people who are popular on social media have this flawless, perfected image that they put out. And so somebody who is viewing that all the time, and they think that that's the proper example of being popular or being whatever they're trying to strive to be, they feel like if they're not on that level, that they're not living up to something, and that's not necessarily true, because some of them people are dirtbags and you shouldn't try to be like them,
Yeah, and I think that's the importance of when they're young, trying to we got to do everything we can to instill something in our kids to where they have enough knowledge of self and a worthy enough viewpoint of themselves that they not trying to compare their lives to what they see on social media, that they know they're not lacking in any way, so that they can spend time on social media without it having negative effects on them.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this up here right quick. She said, one day my 11-year-old said, "Mama, I'm depressed," because his TikTok video gave a list of ways to tell. So I think that touches on, something like what she was saying. Like you might pick up something that you wouldn't necessarily pick up if you wasn't on social media. And that's crazy, because maybe somebody does need a list of things to tell them whether or not they're suffering from depression. But I mean, just because you've seen it on TikTok and there's a couple of things you align with, because I'm sure I could look on that list and see something that's relatable to me too. But
all right, you can Google that.
It's about how you respond to it,
Yeah, you could Google that you have a cough, and it's gonna tell you a million things that could be wrong with you because of that cough.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's wrong with you. You could just simply have an allergy. You can simply have bad air quality in the area because there's a fire nearby. There could be a million reasons why you're coughing, but if you Google why you're coughing, it's gonna make you think you got the
yeah, gonna make you think you finna check out. Wound, what's up with you? We got Wound in the house. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna make you think you finna check out. You can be or brought to be overly concerned about something that's not necessarily an issue, depending on how much faith you put in the stuff you see on social media.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that sometimes I get caught up in watching my crime solving shows or my alien
Bring on them aliens.
yeah. But for the most part, if I watch something on TV or video, I'm trying to learn something from it normally.
That's what I meant when I said that a social media experience is dependent upon the individual. Are you watching things that stimulate your mind, that stimulate your thought process, in a way to edify you, or are you watching things that stimulate your thought process in a way to influence you towards some other foolish behavior? You know what I mean? That's up to the individual. I know some people that be on social media and everything they see is tits and ass. My social media experience ain't like that.
All I see is motherfuckers getting smoked and shit.
Right. It depends on what you tapped in with. Yeah.
Boxing videos, people get knocked out, and it's kind of rough. I got because I always, when I scroll through, anytime I see like a fight or something like that, or a shootout somewhere, I always stop on that. So my algorithm is feeding me that, because no matter what, I might scroll right past it, but I'm gonna at least get a observational view of it before I check that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think it should be against the law that algorithms are able to do that? Because that means someone is just tapping into us at 24/7.
We're years beyond that being an issue. That's been the case for so many years. It's like, I think, but because people spend a lot of time on social media and they see it play out, it's like, oh my goodness, they're looking at us. They've been looking.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep looking. You can make it illegal. Since when has this U.S. government not did something because it was illegal?
They're more crooked than crooks.
Right.
Okay. Hold up. So I know Mai ain't on here, but we got Lawan Woon Terrell. He say basically something along the lines of what she was saying, that sometimes that toxic shit could be an escape from your hard day. Seeing somebody go through some crazy shit lightens the load. And I agree with him on that, because it helps you to see that your situation ain't unique, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not every time you see that person or those people, they're always doing some shit though. Can't you ever show something positive? Like your people you was just talking about, because I've never watched not one video of them youngsters showing they ignorant asses, okay? But show something positive.
Who you talking about?
Sean.
Yes.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, they be out there. And I think that's what made me want to look at it, because I've heard both sides of the coin that, oh, he's an abuser, she's crazy. I wanted to see for myself what it looked like. And from what I could see, that girl got some serious mental problems. It's not a game to her.
She wants to.
If you're drunk all the time, of course you don't know how to act.
You might want to watch the Get Down that I was talking about. It ain't got nothing to do with no outside. She ain't wrapped too tight. Like, I seen it. It was like, okay, he must really, really love her.
Because I'll beat the shit off your bitch. No.
I'm not saying. I'm saying to even be able to accept the responsibility of dealing with that from one day to the next is what I'm. Because
I told you what it is, though. You can't underestimate it. It's because she wants the spotlight. That's why she acting like that.
You ain't checked her out if you think that girl has mental issues.
It comes from her family. You can look at the video of her and her family confronting him from when they had a physical altercation and see how they were acting. That the apple don't fall far from the tree.
If she would have been on here, everything you said, you'd have been talking while she was talking. Once she started talking,
that doesn't seem like she wants the spotlight.
It never stopped.
So that doesn't seem like she's trying to hog the spotlight to you.
No, that's what I mean.
She does have mental issues.
Okay. So I look at it like this: there's normal behavior, or what we would categorize normal behavior, and then there's behavior that's like something is off in that person's mind. She is not a normal individual putting on a show in order to have the spotlight. Everything she's doing is actually her, is what I'm getting at.
Okay, yeah. On that aspect, I'm not saying she tactically wants the spotlight and that's why she does what she does. But the reason, the core issue of her problems is when the spotlight is on, she doesn't know how to share that spotlight.
She don't want to share it.
That is definitely an issue. I refuse to look past that. Because like you said, the fact that she's talking while everybody else is talking and blah, blah, and hogging the show, that's what the core is.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, you'd have to watch the episode of No Jumper, because it's not like she's running down something. And you got to think, she got the spotlight. They got a show already.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what more spotlight do she need? She's officially a borderline celebrity. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
but the shit but it's not like she's getting rave reviews. Oh, Christian, you're the pinnacle of greatness and blah, blah, blah. All her shit is negative right now.
And
it's not necessarily all negative. I think that's what
you got people that feel sorry for her. My bad. But yeah.
Well, and if we're really talking about, that's not funny, because if we're really talking about saving the community and we're doing things that make a difference, if something is wrong with the girl and she does need help, yeah, let's feel sorry for her. Let's find a way to help her. Well, and that's what's happened. I have seen people reach out to her and provide a positive aspect to what her situation is. So I don't think it's all negative in that. And I hate to just jump back on and kind of get in the middle of the conversation, but that's just my thoughts on it.
Well, no, we ain't saying it's all negative, but you know, if it's there, it's there. You know, we don't have to ignore it. It's some negative shit.
But what I'm saying,
it's not all negative.
But like I highlighted this comment here, the positivity is that they're still together. So we can talk about all of that, but the fact that we're talking about them as a couple, that makes it to where it's unspoken, but the positivity is still there because they're still together. Yeah. So we have to give
not good positivity.
Well,
I mean, but how many couples are still together and they don't have positive stuff going on? So
it's not positive because it's forcing you to look at each individual in a negative light.
No, it's not. I don't think it's forcing any of that. I think that's a choice. How we look at something is it's a choice. There's some people that look at that couple and only see the fact that they're madly in love with each other. We ain't forced to do nothing. That part is up to the individual.
So
because also there's couples who are looking at that and they are saying, "Wow, we have a whole bunch of arguments, we have a whole bunch of fights, we drink, we fuck, we do all this stuff. Wish somebody was following us around with a camera and we were making some money." You know what I mean? So there's other ways to look at it.
Well,
I put it this way. What if people followed you around in your relationship? Would it be all good?
It'll look
like that boring ass shit.
Well, see, they get whatever they want to get out of it. And that's the point that I'm making. Somebody gonna look and see whatever they want to see.
Yeah, but I mean, the overwhelming outcry is that he's fucking her brain up and her heart, and that's why it's all reactive abuse. Basically,
it was the exact opposite narrative on that no jumper interview. Oh, that's what I mean.
They're saying basically that she's reacting to the abuse. That's what.
No, I think there's some people saying that. There's a lot of other people that's saying, like, man, I tip my hat to you for dealing with that every day. They're not even looking at him and what he's doing. They're only looking at her. It depends on who you're talking to.
So do you reactive abuse?
I'm not even saying it's reactive abuse, you know, because like it's mentioned in the comments by Karmic. She said abuse is abuse and there are no levels. And most couples, even in marriage, experience some type of abuse and stay together. So I don't know. I mean, I could dissect that to on a total another level, but I think that there's a lot of things that I don't even agree with how he deals with his woman that would probably eliminate some of the problems that he has, you know, because I'm the type, if I got to call you bitch and say my bitch and do all that, I shouldn't even be involved with you. Right. So any problem that arises out of him speaking that way, he got to own that. That's the way I look at that. You know what I mean? So what up, Pam?
Hey. Hey, Pam. But okay, so on the topic of is it brainwashing, what we're talking about it, so is it brainwashing us? Because if is social media, television shows, are they brainwashing is the question. By watching that, do you feel brainwashed?
Absolutely
brainwash
not.
is not the word that we would use because we're not.
We looked at the definition and came to the conclusion that brainwash was too strong of a word.
Well, okay, programmed. Are you being programmed?
Because it said forcefully.
Okay.
Programming is probably a better word.
Yeah. Program's a better word.
Okay, so again, I'm asking, off the shows that you guys watch individually, Tusav, you said you watch stuff that's forming, you know, where you're learning something. These, we already know you said you seeing a whole bunch of people getting shot up and all that. So I'm saying, but are we being programmed by the things that we personally are watching?
Okay, I'll give you an example. You're not fully clean unless you're
zestfully clean.
Right. So how the fuck do we know that if we didn't get that shit programmed in our motherfucking head?
Exactly.
I think that applies more on a level with television than it does social media. And the reason why I say that, like I said, I watch crime shows, I watch, you know, action movies for the violence. But y'all know, you grew up with us, you was there. We didn't need none of that, okay, to be who we were. So what I'm saying is sometimes it's just you attaching yourself to what already speaks from within. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I will never agree that it's brainwashing. You know, like people choose what they want to be a part of.
That is true.
Well, you know, I watch Bob the Builder too, or This Old House, and I can't wait till I build my house.
Well, and there goes, that's a form of good thing. Because like, I was thinking that too. I was like, well, what if a person is only watching HGTV, right? And they are constantly, if that's on their TV, that's the only shows that they watch. They're going to be learning something that is positive in a way where they might could utilize it for a financial gain, or even when they're buying a house or different things like that. It'll be, they're programming themselves on a different level.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You can definitely program yourself by what you're watching.
Yeah.
So somebody put that comment up there. It says it can be brainwashing us to feel like it's okay to have that type of relationship. And I see that because I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. There are certain individuals who are centered in who they are and what they know is good for them. They know their value, their self-worth. They have a personal identity. They could never be brainwashed to think that that's the type of relationship that's good for them. However, there are some people that haven't arrived at any of those aforementioned things. They could be heavily influenced to think that, oh, well, shit, you know, it's okay that me and my dude is going through this, or that me and my chick is going through this, because, you know, Blueface and Krishan doing it, and they out here leveling up. They on TV, they getting money, you know, maybe it's okay. But that comes down to the individual and the way what their individual mindset is.
Well, also, if it's not putting that negative image out or something that is not positive, it's not going to stay as popular as that's negative, because people forever want to see drama. even though it's not good. I still sometimes think about the video that D sent me where they cut the legs off and beat him with his own legs.
What in the?
I clearly didn't send that.
Yeah. Look, because
if
if he sent that, I would have seen it too, because he would have sent it to me.
Right.
You can all three know what you're talking about.
Where the
Yeah, I ain't
cartel
seen
cut
that.
the legs off and beat the dude with his own legs.
I ain't seen that.
Oh my God, D's.
I ain't seen that.
Oh my God.
No, but I hear what you're saying, though. But I think that still lends to the point that that how can we, if we deliberately look at something that satisfies our internal desire, is it fair for us to turn around and say that we're being brainwashed?
Well, I tend to look at the comments more than anything. I kind of go in the comments to see what the reaction is of people, and because I'm kind of analyzing people's reaction to those videos for my own research. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I'm doing a survey on the reactions to these videos. You know, and a lot of times, like somebody had said the other day, you know, since when is death hilarious? You know. Because a lot of people post the busting out, laughing, tears coming out, emojis on people getting shot and shit like that. And so that, to me, it's one thing to look at it, but to look at it and that be your response?
People are desensitized.
They're desensitized, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's why you know that there is a programming aspect to it, even if you don't want to admit it. Because in order to be, once you become desensitized, that's a level of programming.
I don't know. I stand on my square about that, because there's no programming. Like if you just wake up on any given day and you choose to not have a television, you choose to not be on social media, where's the programming? It all starts with an individual choice.
Right.
So we have to have some responsibility.
Did you hear about the guy in Ohio that shot up the Walmart? And you're still going to hear about shit.
You will, but imagine if somebody that's, getting submerged in that type of shit versus somebody who they only hear about it once in a great while. Who's going to be more influenced? And if they're not hearing about it because of a deliberate choice to avoid it, you see what I'm saying? Like, and the other person is hearing about it because of a deliberate choice to indulge in it. How can you call it brainwashing?
It just depends on the individual, because I'm gonna tell you something right now. Just like kids who go to church and they all up in the church and their families keep them in the church.
Shout out to the low. I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, my bad.
And they're all in the church, and they would be one of the baddest kids out there. Okay. And their parents shelter them away from, supposedly, from bad influence and everything, but they be the baddest ones. But or some of the baddest ones, not always the baddest ones. So just because you may shelter someone or stop them from seeing something or censor this or whatever, it's all on your own personal decision. I know me and when we were younger, we went and babysat at these people's house. And they didn't have a TV. And we were like, what the heck? They don't got no fucking TV? What the TV was in the closet.
Right. It only came out for special occasions.
What the hell?
So think about that. I was talking to a dude one time, and he was telling me that they grew up without no TV. I think he's older for sure. I want to say he's probably in his 50s or something like that. But what he was saying is that they grew up without no TV, and at the time they thought it was crazy. Like everybody got a TV, we can't watch this, that, and the other. But over time, he said when he looked back at it, his siblings, they play multiple instruments. He got a pilot license. He fly. He know how to fly planes. All that because by not being absorbed by television, that it gave them more of an opportunity and probably a stronger desire to learn how to create from within. You see what I mean? So it boils down to choice. And obviously their parents understood that, like, hey, we want to get the most out of these kids. We gotta limit the external influence that they have from television.
Yeah, well, that was a show that was on Blackish one day that they took their phones from the kids and they made them interact with each other and do things as a family. And for that 1 week's time, they was doing puzzles and having fun as a family as a whole. But as soon as they could get their phone back, they was back to it, and they all dispersed into their own little corners.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then you got to think also. So from an outside perception, you see somebody in their phone, and what's the conclusion you draw? What are they doing? Are they on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, or are they on Wikipedia? You know, are they on some what are they doing? Because a phone is not just a social media tool.
Right.
It has so many other connotations to it. So, you know what I mean? Like, how much of the time that you spend on your phone on any given day is spent on social media versus, you looking up information on something that was of interest to you. You know, you doing some kind of research on a business that you want to start and how to lay it all out. You know, how do we know that when somebody's in their phone that they're automatically being influenced by some external, you know what I mean? Like, they could be doing something else.
I wish I did know the percentages of that, because I say this all the time. If someone comes into an establishment with a gun and they start pointing at people, the person on their phone is like, oh my God, they just came in here with a gun. Oh my God, they pointed at me. Oh my God, they just shot me. You know, they
I mean, okay.
For real though, they all like, oh my God, they just came in here, man. Instead of moving out the way, but no, they got their phone up, all up in the phone, and oh, they just shot me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It reminds me of I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, when he was telling Mr. Big the story. And then he just outright said, and then he shot me. Ooh, shit.
Yeah. So I have this strong opinion, but I think it all flips on its head when we talk about television versus social media. Like, because if it was left up to me, I would never watch the news.
I stopped watching the news.
When the news is on, it's because somebody else put the news on. Leave it up to me. I'm not going to watch the news. I don't watch regular television, period. I literally pick and choose what's on my TV.
Right.
Because you got all these different outlets now where you can go and find whatever it is you want to watch. Why do I have to sit up and watch scheduled programming? You understand what I'm saying?
Keyword, scheduled programming.
You in a disclaimer that this network doesn't necessarily back up the views and expressions of this show. You know what I'm saying? Because there is an agenda being pressed in these sitcoms and shows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, big time.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like the news plays a part in that too, because why are they always telling the horrific side of something? Isn't there other stuff they could be reporting?
Well,
yeah, but as people, that's what gets us.
Because they're not just doing it haphazardly.
Right. Well, they're definitely going by how many viewers they got.
Right. They go off of ratings.
Yeah.
And they already have seen that, man, when we report on stuff like this, the ratings are better.
Look at Law and Order.
Yeah.
How long that shit been on TV?
That is true.
Yeah.
There ain't no detective in real life that old.
Yeah. And
so,
I mean,
it boils down to we have to make proper choices in our selection then. of what our intake is on a daily and weekly basis. If we want to be guarded of the different things that we know are going on, because now that we know that it's happening, we have to be conscious of it.
Do you think that these social media sites that do show these negative outlets or these things that are not good for people, that they should put some sort of time to saying, well, if you're feeling this way, or if you need help with this or that, should they also put that on air as well as they're putting the other things that they put on?
Well, if I make a Instagram page called, Brains Blown, okay, and I want to post, everything I post is about somebody getting they pumpkin smashed. Why is it my responsibility to say, hey, if you're having feelings of, there's another page for that. Take your individual choice and follow the page that suits your needs. That's what I was getting at earlier. Like, everybody ain't gonna see Brains Blown. Somebody ain't gonna see that Instagram page, depending on what they tap in with.
But what if it's a post that, you know how they got the headliners in the post where they say, this was hella out of pocket, or this person was suspect for this behavior or whatever. But then you watch the video and it doesn't really have that angle that the header said it had. It's just them trying to implement some sort of maybe toxicity or some sort of, getting somebody to be a sucker about something or an issue or something like that. What if it's like that?
We got to look at ourselves like fish, So when you go out fishing, there's that one big fish you see swimming around. If you fishing from a bridge or something, you can see that real big fish. And the reason why he got that big is because he's not biting on every single thing that's thrown out into the water. You understand what I'm saying? So those taglines that you're talking about, that's bait. Or is we gonna swim right past that, or is we gonna bite on it? It's a personal choice. Whether or not you ever see what was going on in that video. Do we see it for what oh man, that's bait. I ain't even messing with that. Right. They got me one time, they ain't gonna get me like that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of creators do that. And that's the only reason I brought it up, is to kind of like point that out. A lot of people, they'll say what's catchy or what's going to catch your attention to get you to click on something. And then it'll be something totally different going on.
Right. Well, because you have to remember, they're going for views, so they're going for views. And that's why matter of fact, when we get off of here, I'm going to go ahead and use one of those. Whatever's the theme for today was going viral. I'm gonna attach it. I'm gonna put a hashtag for our podcast on there. You know what I mean? So
because let's face it, if we really wanted to, we could have mad views by now.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I'm wondering, sitting here wondering. I'm like, well, dang. There's a flip side to this. I kind of understand. I was even thinking that in regards to Blueface and Krishan. I was like, everything's a gimmick. You do what you want to get the attention that you need to bring the financial side to it. Some people, if you're looking at the backside of it.
Well, that's what I had said. I said, now when we talk on our family chat amongst the four of us, it's lit. We are laughing and we're talking and saying some crazy stuff. Man, that will shoot people to the moon. But which is some good shit sometimes.
Well,
right. We didn't want to put that out there for everyone to see because we wanted to put a more positive image out there.
To offer a balance.
That even if you could cover current events and still maintain your integrity of your show, I think.
I think so too.
We just did it. We talked about Krishan and what's his name. We just did it. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about the Cowboys whooping the 49ers motherfucking
ass. Right.
Oh.
Them motherfuckers is in for a rude awakening today.
Yeah.
So I see you got your jersey on then.
Right.
You ready?
That way a motherfucker can't say, oh, you just popped out the woodworks after they won. Nah, I've been here the whole time.
Right. Yeah, you're definitely not, you're not a wagon rider. I can definitely say that. You've been on that trail for a long time.
Purdy gonna be Purdy fucked up.
Purdy ass finna get knocked out the game, and it's gonna be over.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, well, at least
It's
one
so
of us got a
tough.
squad that's still in the race. Yeah.
I want to say the one thing though. I love all of my brothers and sisters. I love you.
We love you too.
I love you too. I agree with you. I love us. I'm proud of us. I wouldn't care if we only have one viewer or not. The fact that we have remained consistent for all these weeks and dedicated ourselves to, if nothing more, we're building ourselves up. You know what I mean? And I love that because we are all agreeing to do something together. And it's uplifting because just spending time as siblings, some people don't have that kind of bond that we have. So I'm grateful for it.
Right, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, it's a good thing no matter how you swing it. And you know, I said it from the gate. I didn't give a damn about the viewers and none of that because I just feel like a solid product is gonna bring that down the line anyway. So
I want to act. I ain't gonna lie. I want to act a fool.
I kind of do too sometimes.
Me too.
look, hey, act a fool.
Don't say that.
Just know when to act
Let's
a fool
go,
and who to
let's
act a
go.
fool with. You know.
No, because I was already thinking that though, because I was trying to ask Valley earlier today, you know, how to get the background on and everything. And he's like, don't you in your line of work with computers every day? And I'm like, he's such a smart ass. You know, like,
hey,
you
look.
can't even ask a question. So I
How
had to
many
break it down.
times have we discussed this though?
No, but I don't care because we didn't go step by step. And so then and I was like, okay, well, when I'm at work, if I don't know how to do something, they're going to show me how to do it. And he's like, I showed you, I put the steps in it. And it's so hard to communicate. Those are the kind of conversations that I think if people see the behind the scenes of all of this, it's a lot of shit.
You know why I was irritated? Because guess how I learned how to put on
You
the
had
back.
to do it yourself, but we were on prep time.
No. I got one even better for you. I learned how by watching the YouTube video that you sent me. So don't ask me how to do it.
You
Look at
just
the
didn't
damn
like
video
it.
you sent me. Look at the damn video that you sent me. Don't ask
Well,
me.
and
nothing.
this is
I
the
got
cold.
the info
This is
from
the
you.
cold part. This is the cold truth. When I don't want to read or watch something, I send it to Savon.
That nigga looked at that shit and was like,
She think I'm gonna look at it and hit her back and give her a synopsis of what's going on, man. You better look at that damn video yourself.
hey, let me send you this video so you can look at it and then tell me what it says.
Valley's taking notes.
Man, listen. Yeah, I literally learned how to do it on the tutorial that you sent me. That's why.
Wow,
it's like, how
and
do
so
you not know how to do it yet.
I very much must have not watched that tutorial, which is the crazy part, because I still, guess what? All of my 15K cannot see this show again. It's not attached.
Did you go on? Did you go on Facebook and edit the public? Edit the.
I tried to, and then it kept telling me a whole nother thing. We'll discuss it afterwards. Because I don't feel like having the viewers know you're gonna be griping at me again. It should have been done because it was done. I thought.
Man, you got my homies clowning me and shit. No, I feel you. We'll figure it out.
We definitely are. I'm glad to just be on here laughing because for a minute I was getting completely frustrated. I had the Tower Bridge background. And I was like, and then my computer wouldn't run with the background on there. You know, it'll run, but it wouldn't run if I chose that as my background. And so then I was mad about that. And so then this is how quick you can be sidetracked in life. Like I'm all bubbly, ready to go and everything. Hey, I'm about to have my background this time. And then it wasn't working. And I just started manifesting on that for a minute. And I was like, oh, we're live. I got to get back to the show. Like, this is not the time for that. So that's just how easy you can be sidetracked.
Well, I noticed when we do the virtual background, it makes me go like.
You don't got no green screen.
You gotta get a green screen. You gotta get a green screen. See, here's the thing. Like we talking about brainwashing. Like that YouTube video might have brainwashed you into know how to.
Right.
I didn't see the video. I didn't see
exactly, and I don't even know what he's talking about at this point.
We ain't going for that shit.
Whatever.
already
You guys
said-
need to be
no,
better
no,
instructor.
No, you already said we was getting green screens at the very, very, very
We
beginning.
was talking about that first episode, so I mean, it done been discussed. Like I said,
Anyway.
and you sent me the tutorial, so
And that's the cold part, because I'm like, I'm gonna go back and watch it. I am. And y'all, and the thing
I
is,
ain't gonna
some of the
lie.
things,
I sent Tavon his green screen. I should have sent all y'all one too.
thank you. So now you're admitting to helping out your fellow brother and not your
Oh.
sisters. Exactly.
So you want to hit people with garbage cans, huh?
Exactly. And so thank you to Saab for taking a moment yesterday to contact me to give me the steps to actually do it. And then when I attempted to do it, it's on my laptop. It's a different thing on your phone than it is on your laptop, as we both know.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's the part of the thing. And it seems like I keep having to do the podcast from my phone. So
Well, shit, we might as well keep talking about Blueface and Krishan then.
Fuck Blueface and
hey, no, because I really wanted to know. You said something, Maisha, that like you had a comment about it, but you was like, "That's gonna take us off topic." I really wanted to know what you was gonna say.
Me too.
Because this has missed all of them.
excuse me, I've never watched their show a day. And that's why you guys are so funny to me. But anyway.
Don't say guys, she said that. You better point that
I've
right
never
back to
watched
your
not
sister.
one of their episodes. I've never watched not one of their episodes. So
Okay, maybe that wasn't shouldn't have said all, but you do like those what do they call those
Jerry Springer.
outside of the Kardashians and the Housewives, I don't watch those kind of shows. So you guys can think
Jesus
what you want.
Christ. I couldn't sit through one episode of neither one of them.
Either the Housewives episode, and I don't watch it all the time is the cold part. I don't even watch as much TV as I used to. But anyways, back to the lecture at hand.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I don't even remember what I was going to say about the two at this point. I don't even remember.
This is
Okay.
why you should have just dropped that when you was talking about it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, because I think that it had to be vital for it to come up. It applied to the conversation. So,
Well, I still think you guys have, well, and I'm not going to say you guys, because you guys both have two different perspectives on it or two different views on the relationship. But I just personally, I don't think it's all her. I don't think it's all him. I think it is what they're doing for TV. Part of it is what they're doing for TV, but also it's part of who they are. And they both got some issues. And if you look at their background, their issues are bleeding into their relationship. And I personally feel like that happens all over the world. Everybody's got fucked up shit going on, and then they get involved with other people and you bring it into your relationship. That's not our topic today, but that's the bottom line with that.
no doubt. And that's why I said what I said about there's people that looking at it on both sides of the coin. Some people it's like, oh, she's horrible. Some people, oh, he's just an abuser. Some people it's like, ooh, she must really love that dude, be walking around, you know, getting whooped on, called bitch, this, that, and the other. And then some people it's like, ooh, he must really love that chick to sit up and deal with all that mouth 24/7. It depends on who you talking to, you know what I mean? But the fact that either one of them on opposing sides can continue to operate with one another, that says something about them as individuals. You know what I mean? And I think that's why it's important to kind of dissect that a little bit, because it ain't enough money and fame and traction on YouTube in the world for me to be sitting up dealing with something like that, you know.
That shit ain't going
I just feel like I've dealt with a tacky relationship and I didn't get paid for it. So had I, you know what I mean? I wish I would have got paid for it. I can't say there ain't enough money in the world for me, because I've been through relationships that had drama. I've been the attacker and I've been attacked. So I think it just leads to when you're not healed and you get into a relationship, these are the type of things that spin off from that.
How could he even sleep next to that bitch?
I don't even think it's that simple as not being healed, you know, because these is young people we talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like they got a laundry list of serious relationships behind them. You know,
No, it's
You
not
know.
about relationships. And obviously, it's other stuff.
right? You know, and so
The bottom
sometimes
line is they don't like each other.
I disagree with that. That's what I'm saying. I think you should go watch that No Jumper interview because before it got foul, it was an opportunity to see how they really rock with each other. And then not only that, he was keeping it 100. Like he was flat out saying like how much he really loved her, and he know he could just do this, that, and the other. But
Love and life
whatever's
is
happening when the
different things,
cameras ain't running, it's enough. The glue is strong enough to keep them together.
Yeah, but love and like is two different things, though.
And
That's what I
saying and
just
doing
said.
is two different things too, because
Say that again.
He said that she had a baby by she messed with 10 different dudes over the last year, and that she pregnant with somebody else's baby. And until the DNA test is put up, I ain't claiming shit.
They'll be back together next week.
But I'm just saying that's what he said. Regardless of what happens, if he had all this admiration and respect and love, he wouldn't be saying that on social media.
I disagree with that, and the reason why I say that is because I really listen to his expressions on a lot of stuff, and one of the things he said is like, yeah, well, you know, first and foremost, I'm a Crip. So for somebody to have that level of fame and none of it really came from gang activity and still be clinging to that for identity, that tells me we talking about somebody who don't have the slightest clue who he is on the inside. So,
And so
all
it
of
goes
his
back-
decisions.
It goes back to what I said about being
Hold on a
healed.
second. All of his decisions in life are going to reflect that lack of identity. And all you got to do is take a look at their relationship and you see the truth in that statement.
But that's what made him famous, though. The song that made him famous had Crip in the title.
What song?
I don't know it because I'm not a
I thought it was that Tatiana
But I
that got
know-
him on.
I know that the song that they was talking about his body of work and the song that got him attention had Crip in the title. I'm a Crip.
I don't think I know any of his music. I feel like we're totally off topic, but we're free balling today, so it's fine. But
if he walked up next to me, I wouldn't know who he was.
I mean, I know what he looks like, so I ain't gonna go that far. But I'm saying
I know him.
I couldn't name out a song.
Me neither. That's why I can't tell you
Me
exactly
neither.
what the song is called, but I know that is what got him where we wouldn't know who he was if he wasn't putting that Crip shit out there.
Okay, so what can we do today to make sure somebody knows who we are? No.
I can get on.
Well, I like.
If we have some viewers, then there's several ways to do it. But with no viewers, it still ain't gonna happen.
That's not true.
Well, we have one viewer right now. Who I wonder who that is.
What's up with you?
Tap in. Right.
Put some input in. Viewer
Right.
number one.
Right.
Thank you
Yeah,
for trying to tapping in on us.
I don't know. I just feel like, you know, to me, I think that, you know, it still shows it doesn't matter what the excuse is for that to be the center of his identity as a man, not a star, but as a man. You can only expect foolishness to come after that. That's all I'm saying. Like, I just don't see no other way to slice that pie.
So we had Karmic Fruition, Pam C, Big Six Throne, Josh Anonymous Burger Sr., Heather Short Wiley, and yeah, that's it. As
I'm
far
gonna
as
kick my kid's ass.
that made reactions to that had reactions to us.
So
And now that and now that we called out the one viewer, they disappeared.
well, I was sitting there saying
Because
it's the
here's
ops
thing.
anyway.
Here's the thing. And I know it's me being how I am. I'm not pulling up nowhere, including this podcast, with my hand out like, please come. Either you show up or you don't. I don't give a damn if you do or if you don't. If you pull up, I'm gonna salute you. If you don't pull up, holla. It's all good. I really
Right.
don't
Well,
give
the
a
show definitely really's gonna go on.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
The
When I
show's
started
gonna
off,
go
I was
on.
talking about bad. I was only talking about Bad Boy, but everybody else want to have a motherfucking.
Exactly.
You know what, Shell? Fuck you too.
Well, I am not asking for a handout and begging, but I told my kids to tap in, and none of them have. So
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
work with them when we get
Look, if just our kids was tapped in,
Right.
That's 20 viewers.
you know, but we can't expect that. We can't expect that because they too busy being influenced and brainwashed by social media.
Absolutely. And so that no, here's the craziest part. That's the realest shit that you said, bro. Each and every one of our kids right now is probably somewhere with a phone wrapped in their hands on one or two of those things.
I already
Watching
know.
somebody else's podcast.
Absolutely.
My oldest is at work, so she's not got her phone in her face, but the other two probably.
And another thing I was gonna say too, I know that I am subscribed to our YouTube channel. We only have 9 subscribers right now, so I think that
Fuck them kids, okay? I'm stuck on that, okay? I'm stuck on that.
No,
The kids ain't pulled up. Look.
If we could just get our kids to go subscribe, like, listen, and share.
They got fans. They got friends.
Before the podcast started, I had a spiel I was gonna say, and it was gonna be something to this effect. It's funny how family, like, if you ain't really doing nothing, then it ain't no big deal. But if we was making 6 figures on here and getting our dough, all our distant relatives would be tapped in, and it's funny how that shit work.
Right.
Yeah.
That is true.
I agree with you. It'd be like that sometime.
Yeah, that's true. But again, shout out. I know Valley don't like to be called this, so now we're Four Corners Legacy. Shout out to Four Corners Legacy for sticking it out. No matter what, we're here. We got something to say. We're gonna keep on having something to say. We ain't been able to be silenced this far, so we just gonna keep it rolling no matter what.
Yeah.
Valley don't like to be called what? What you talking about?
The Fab Four.
Oh man, it just it just ain't the name. That don't mean
right. Well, we're Four Corners Legacy now, so it doesn't even matter. It's all good.
Yeah.
Now I done told you. I mean, we could really just try to figure that part out right now. We are like. You want to throw another topic out there? You want to skip to
awesome foursome?
Well,
do we want to throw another topic out there? Do we want to talk about something else?
Man, talk about what's you can't change it. That's the thing about our society right now. Whatever the people's deem is important is really what's important. And even though it might not have no importance, but for some reason everybody's tapping into this shit, it's obviously something compelling or captivating about it for everybody to be tapping in about it.
Well, that's like on Instagram, and everybody was doing the Beyonce song, and they was doing the little dance and everything. And sis, you did it with your daughters. I wanted to do it, but I didn't do it because I wanted to get up there and be cute. But everybody and their mama was doing it.
So it did kind of burn out after a while. It's like, okay, I didn't see every challenge possible because it was cute at first, right?
Right.
But then they just kept it going.
What y'all talking about? My bad.
That's one specific dance that me and Shay and Giselle, we did that routine to the Beyonce song. Yeah. And so that she was saying she wanted to do it, but she got burnt out. And I feel like that's what happens when I listen to the radio. So it kind of does go back into the programming. Whenever I could get out of the car, right? And I'll go into a store and shop for 30 minutes. The song that was on when I got out of the car is going to be back on the dang when I get back in. I don't like this shit. And I'm just like, play something different. But it's programming, like you said.
Right.
And so it's whatever's hot at that moment. They're going to push it down your throat, push it down your throat.
Right.
And so, and then even people, you know, paid sponsorships. I think that's a part of the programming too. You know, they hide big end businesses. They're the ones who get these slots for commercials. Commercials are programming too, just like when Dee's was given the example of the commercial earlier, and I knew the backside of it. Commercials are programming, all those slots that they put in between, whether it's radio, whether it's TV, all of that is a form of trying to get into people's head. So you can buy their products. So you can either go, you know, to go wherever they want you to go. If you need a lawyer, they got the lawyers. The main lawyers are always, it's all programming. It really is.
And as much as everybody controversial, Kevin Samuels was, that was part of his tactics. You know, he came up with high value man and sign language and different terminology now that everybody's using because he kept reintroducing it and re-saying it and sticking with it and saying it over and over again. And that's what that's what popularized him, is because he kept throwing it out there and it became, you know, common like shit
Through repetition. Yeah.
Right.
Repetition, yeah.
Yes.
Suddenly everybody's talking about, oh, I'm a high value man. Or you got women saying, I need a high value man. I'm a high value woman, you know, all because he repeatedly used that terminology.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think that's one area where we see a heavy influence of social media is in the topic of men and women, man versus woman, woman versus man, the battle of the sexes, whatever. And I think that's one place where we see a heavy influence, you know. That's why I say I agree that there's an influence, but I just wouldn't refer to it as a brainwashing. You know what I mean?
Like football, we're about to watch football teams full of men compete against men. You know what I'm saying? Like, men get that you have to compete. Like, with us, it's no problem competing with the next man. You get what I'm saying? Men been doing it since the beginning of time, but females, they don't want to compete with other females. They want to compete with men.
No, I don't. I'm going to have to jump in and disagree with that. We don't want to compete with men. Personally, I think that women too often compete with each other. But I think
where's an example?
Huh?
Where's an example of that?
I was going to ask you for an example on that as well.
Yeah.
That we don't compete with men?
Where's an example?
No. Not that you don't compete with men. Where's the example of women competing with women? What would you give as an example?
A lot of times they compete for men, and it's sad. So I don't even want to jump in. I mean, are we going to go there? Because there's a whole bunch of broads that are in competition, whether it be for men.
That's nature.
My. Men compete
for women.
She's got 10 dudes in her inbox.
Okay, this is a scenario.
I'm number 11. That's not
this is a scenario. You got 5 men and 5 women, and they form a group together. Them women are not going to be able to come because somebody's going to always have to be the one in charge or whatever. Men are going to always stick together regardless. Always.
No.
Well, it does seem like the boys.
It's like a football team has a head coach.
Right.
The players
and a team captain.
The players
we know all about that.
Shit.
Like that's how it go.
The players don't run shit.
Okay. So maybe that's where the thought process comes from, and that's where men are able to level that, get a level playing field. Because I think that it is like how she said, in the fact that if too many women are involved, it does begin to be the Housewives of Potomac. It turns into a squabble match. There's a he say, she say, a cackling event that goes on where women are competitive. My hair looks better. I got real Gucci. She's got fake Gucci. I mean, it's a whole bunch of different shit.
Okay, but what's wrong with following the motherfucker that's going to lead the team to victory? What's wrong with
that? Who said there was anything wrong with it?
So all that clashing you just described
from women,
the team doesn't get to the team doesn't never form actually as a team because of that.
Right. And I mean, it's even on a bigger scale because I don't feel like all men are able to coincide together either. I just think sometimes it's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. There always going to be somebody who wants to be the head honcho or several that want to be head honcho. You guys asked me for a scenario where women compete. I am a woman. You can't tell me women don't compete with each other, Joe.
We didn't say that they didn't. You took it that way when somebody asked you for an example, because I could just assume that I know what you're talking about, or I can ask you for clarity. That's all that happened.
Okay.
Yeah. And you said that women compete for men, but that's happening on both sides of the sexual lines because men are most certainly competing for women. That is nature.
I just think it happens. That's not the only area where women are competitive. That is, you asked for a example, you got a example. But I even feel like I said, when it comes down to my Gucci's real, her Gucci's fake. Oh, I got the best nails. Oh, I got this kind of HD lace front. I got this kind. It's a lot of competition going on.
And I would see that as the same way I said earlier about a person lacking identity of themselves as an individual, because why does your hair, nails, Gucci purse, anything, why is that what you're competing with?
Because us as men,
I wouldn't be able to speak for the masses. I can only speak for myself, and I'm not going to compete in that area. I'm not speaking from where I'm competing from. I see the shit. I'm a woman. I know how women are. So
right. Well, like I'm just saying, like, okay, I know as a man, I have to compete with other men, whether it be in the world of business. If I'm running a business, I got to compete with other men in that regard. If I'm trying to get a job, I got to compete with other men in that regard. That's what I mean. Like it's easy for me to bring out everyday examples that are relevant to who I am and my actual experience. So when I asked you for an example, that's what I was getting at. Like in your life, what is an example of women competing against women versus women competing against men?
I mean, like I said, I can only speak for myself. I personally do not compete against men. I'm not in a competition with men, but I have been called a man hater. So
okay.
So I mean, I'm not competing against men. Deez has said, why do women want to be, compete against men? And I said, if anything, they compete against themselves. That's how the conversation got brought up.
Well, I know I always get told, what do you think, you're a man or something? Because I do things that some women don't do. Like if I need something fixed, if something needs to be done, I'm gonna do it. I don't care if I get dirty or whatever. That's just me. No, I don't think I'm a man. I'm a woman all the way 100%, but I'm not going to wait on somebody to do nothing for me either.
That's not competing against men though.
So then what is your example of women competing against men then?
Being handy is or being having the go-to, or being
resourceful.
Resourceful is all that stuff. That's not nothing to do with competition. We're saying as far as like, say for instance, the wage gap. The wage gap. The wage gap doesn't exist. I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't exist. Because there's no way I can go with just my diploma and go make $97,000 anywhere.
And what woman can?
Right. I'm gonna say
they exist.
Well, we know a couple of college graduates, and I don't think that they've been able to just go and make that kind of money.
No, I said with a high school diploma. I didn't say no college.
Let me ask you. Okay, let's bring it full circle. Do you think men and women should have equality?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Mai?
Yeah,
it's a simple question. Yeah, okay.
I just don't like where this is going.
Hold on. So
I don't like where it's going.
that's a prime example of the competition between man and woman. So we can't even deny that it exists. We ain't got to dive all deep into it because I think we're really just trying to set up for the prep for that episode because I really want to see that happen. But we cannot deny there's 2 men here, 2 women. The women just said that they want to be equal to men. You ain't gonna find a man on the planet that says, I want to be equal to a woman. We don't give a man.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is why I don't want to get into this because you guys always want to go so in depth. Here's my thing. I think that yes, the male is the leader of a unit, but I think that without a male in the household's gonna fail.
That ain't what I asked you. You going in too deep.
I thought this was compelling though.
I'm gonna do a Diesel in a minute and just leave the studio.
You know how women wanted to vote, right? There was a lot of women that disagreed and didn't want to vote, but it was crazy because men had the right to vote, but they also could be drafted at moment's notice and have to go fight in a war. And then they had some kind of like cleanup thing or where they had to go work at a soup kitchen or volunteer or some sort of thing you had to have voting rights back in the days when all this shit was going on. And I can only speak on when all this shit was going on because that's when it was going on. So now it doesn't even matter. But the women that went against it because they didn't want to be they wanted the right to vote, but they didn't want to be subject to get drafted and go fight in a war, and they didn't want to have to work.
And do you see the differences in those things? Do you see the differences in that? Do you think that the women, because they were able to vote, should then have the right, then have to be drafted too? Do you see?
Hell yeah.
Well, you got to look at the basis for their request to be able to vote. I'm equal to a man.
Well, because there should have never been. There should have never been. You're unequal. There should have never been. You're unequal. You're unequal, so you can't vote.
No. It's not about that. It's not about that. By nature, women are going to be driven toward men that can provide and care for them. So by nature, they have already looked at themselves, whether they want to verbally admit it or not. They have already recognized themselves as not being on the same playing field as a man. That's why they look for the man to care and provide. And so if you accept that way of thinking, it's kind of trying to usurp the man's position by saying, oh, I want you to care and provide for me, but I also want to do all the things that you do. And the reason why I think that's crazy is because men, we're not trying to run around doing all the things that women do. That's the only argument I have with it. It's like, why can't it be men focus on being men when women focus on being women? I just don't understand.
Okay, so tell me this.
So what is gender directed though? How do we know that what's level? So does that mean women are in the kitchen, or no, men do want to be able to cook? We do want to be able to do the line. Where's the fine line for you? What's
the man's role?
That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
What's the man supposed to do?
I'm gonna tell you right now. There isn't one. And the reason why I say that, and this what I meant. So I'm being real sly about trying to tie it into the topic about being influenced by social media. There isn't a role for a man or for a woman, straight up and down, because I don't do the supposed tos. You're supposed to do this, supposed to do that, supposed to post. Because now a relationship is formulaic. It's arbitrary. You do whatever is fitting for the relationship the circumstances that you have with the individual that you're with.
I agree.
This is a woman's role, you got to do it. This is a man's role, you got to do it. I'm not even rocking with nobody that thinks along them lines. Okay.
So then you just said though, so most of the women are looking for the man to be these, the expectation is for them to.
By nature, I'm saying no.
By whatever it is. They want the man to be the one to pay all the bills, buy all the cars, provide the wedding.
I'm not even saying all that. I'm not even saying all that. I'm saying by nature, women are driven toward or attracted to men that through their demeanor and their status represent provision and protection. You can't even deny that. Why do you think women always talking about I need a thug, I want a thug, I don't need a street cred, because they relate that to protection. You understand what I'm saying? I need a baller. They relate that to provision. We can't, that's not even an arguable point. That is what it is.
And here's another
Unless you have an argument for it.
here's
But a logical one, though. Not an emotional one, but a logical one.
Here's another thing, Mike.
Yeah.
I lost it. I was trying to jump in while I had it, but I lost it.
It'll come back to you because you guys are very adamant about that. And I look forward to providing a good perspective on this because I think that it's an important topic as well. I don't want to have gender-based roles in relationships either. I don't have that expectation that all men, because I would take someone we're both equally yoked. I thought that's what equally yoked, meaning we both provide in the areas where needed. And it's not specific to a gender. It's not specific. It's just what makes you a form as a couple. You know, your yin and your yang.
Here's what I was going to say. Okay, so women say that they need this and they need that, right? And would we say that men simply ignore that and don't do it as a whole? Or are they men that are willing to buy their wives' cars and pay all the rent 100%? There's men that hear what women are saying and make a move to provide that, right?
Of course.
Okay. So men are simply saying right now that how come all the things we come up with that we expect out of women are challenged?
Okay, because I guess at that point you're saying men are meeting the expectation financially. So I'm saying, what is it that you feel the area is where women are combative against?
It's no specific area, but say for instance, a man said, like women say they need a nigga that's 6'5" or whatever. And men accept that as men. True or false? Do we accept that, Devon?
It is what it is.
No, because this is where I
no, listen, wait. Women said they like tall niggas. Men accept that. No matter how it affects them or how it hurts their feelings.
How do short niggas still have women then? Why are there short niggas with women then?
It's a generalization.
That's neither here nor
it's
there.
It's a generalization. He's not saying that it's an absolute. It's in general. Come on now.
That as men, we accept the most ridiculous shit women say because we know that what they're saying is how they feel. But if a man says something, it's automatically challenged.
Well,
I guess we're not gonna be able to have that discussion. I wanted to do a test run, but like we ain't gonna be able to have that discussion because if everybody wants to hold back their expressions, it's no point. Say what's on your mind.
I'm gonna say this.
Say what's on your mind.
One day we were on our family chat and I said, "Yeah, go on, Meg. I love that girl, Meg the Stallion." Okay,
right.
And you two went in on the girl bad because she's talking shit like a nigga.
No.
Why'd you go bad on her then?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because it bothers me that women of my community look to someone who speaks like, talks like, acts like, makes a living like a whore, and they look to her as if she's someone they should idolize. That's why I went in on her.
I don't idolize her. I don't idolize her.
You brought her up. You was like, "Ooh, man."
I don't idolize her.
Okay, take idolize out. Take idolize out. That's my point. Somebody who you have a positive feeling about when you see them.
I don't even never listen to any of her music. I might every now and then might hear her song, but she's doing her thug, and I'm not mad at her.
Okay.
She's only doing what men have been doing it for the longest. Now that the woman's doing
you just proved the point that you argued earlier. Competition with men. You just
why is it competition? Why is it
because your reason for saying it's acceptable.
Is it considered competition?
Your reason for saying it's acceptable is because men been doing it for a long time. That's
why is it competition?
That's competition.
It is not competition.
Let me give you an example. Give you an example.
What are women doing?
Hold on right quick, Deez. Here's the reason why I have a problem with it. Because if I, as a man, was to stand up and say, okay, yeah, because we're just gonna flip the coin over. We go from hoe straight to pimp. Okay, this pimp nigga, he getting his hoes, he getting his bread, he doing this, he living his life. Somebody's gonna look at me, most likely women, in a negative connotation. But then when we flip the coin and women sit up and for lack of better term, so don't get locked in on it, idolize a woman for doing hoe shit, so to speak. No, hold on, time out. Now all of a sudden, the same principle that was applied to the man gets abandoned. That's the point I'm making. If the principle applies on one side of the coin, it has to apply on the other. If I as a man am standing up and saying I'm not finna align with this type of behavior, that type of behavior, then as a man, I should also be able to say, hey, I don't respect that woman because she aligns with the same sort of behavior. That's all I just did.
Not her, I can't think of her name off now. The big girl,
Lizzo.
Yeah, Lizzo.
You know what my argument was? You know what my argument was with her? Oh, Lizzo's so beautiful. Stop lying to each other. Stop lying to each other.
So is Faison Love.
Yeah, Faison Love. Faison Love is the most handsome dude in the world.
So is Rick Ross. So is motherfucking CeeLo Green. So is
she is beautiful. She is beautiful. How the fuck you gonna say that girl is pretty?
Come on, man.
Listen, listen. The whole point I was trying to make is this here. If I, as a man, disagree with a woman about another woman's physical appearance, my viewpoint trumps that woman's viewpoint because I'm a man and I'm attracted to women. You are not. And even if you are, you're not hearing what I'm saying. You're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm just simply saying this. If I decide to say that a woman is less than attractive, even if it is because of her weight, why am I a villain because of that? That's the question. That's basically what happened. That's basically what happened. I can't even have my own standard without being villainized. That's crazy.
And I just gave an example of that because women say they want tall men.
That was the only reason why me and her had that discussion, because it's like, damn, I didn't know that I had to love Lizzo. Excuse the hell out of me for not loving Lizzo. You know?
I don't say love her, but now you don't. She doesn't have to be.
What we're hearing is basically that women deserve tall men, but a man has to choose Lizzo. If a man's not attracted. If a man's not attracted to Lizzo, it's just like if a woman says they want tall men. We all agree on that, right? That's what women overwhelmingly say, right?
No.
So that's not a thing amongst men and women.
Yeah, probably so. But now that's not how everybody sees it.
So what's wrong with
why hold on, time out. We have to stop with that's not everybody. It's a general statement. In general, niggas eat fried chicken. We know every black person don't eat fried chicken, but in general, that's a fair statement to say black folks eat fried chicken. We know it doesn't account for 100% of black people. So, I mean, we don't have to do not everybody. We know that already.
Right.
In general, women are typically attracted to men that are taller than them. And in general, men are typically attracted to women that are smaller than them. And Lizzo don't fit in that category. And that's all I was ever saying. And I don't understand why I had to be a misogynist because of that.
Lizzo want her boyfriend to weigh 175 pounds. And she's 307 pounds.
You know what?
That's crazy, though.
No, I mean, it's all good if somebody wants to rock with that, but you shouldn't be vilified for not wanting to rock with that. Oh, you're a horrible person because you didn't say Lizzo was beautiful and that she has sex appeal. What happened to personal opinion and viewpoint? Like, in
But
my
she's
opinion,
not.
she is
She
none of
is
that.
pretty. She
If
is
I walk
pretty,
into
though.
an
Okay,
art
that's
gallery,
your opinion.
look, if you walk
So
into
she's
an
not
art
pretty?
gallery, Kasami,
No,
if you walk into an art gallery and you with four other people and y'all looking at paintings and one person says, man, this painting is beautiful, and then another two or three people say that painting is beautiful, and two people say, you know what, that painting is full of shit and I don't like it. Is anybody going to get vilified for that?
who's wrong?
Who's
Is
wrong?
anybody wrong? Is the question.
Who's wrong for that?
No one's wrong.
That
Right.
then the same thing should apply here. I shouldn't be wrong for having my own opinion.
I don't like Lizzo's artwork.
Right, exactly.
I don't like Lizzo's painting.
Exactly. Man, I wish my could tap back in. I don't know what she got going
purposely
on.
tapped out. She purposely tapped out.
No, she didn't. She tried to come back in twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get the video I just sent you, Tavon?
I ain't messing with you.
Shit. And this one is even better.
Well, yeah, clearly I'm not gonna look at that right now, but yeah.
I'm only messing with you.
Yeah. Yeah, but I still think we need to figure out a way to have that conversation. I damn near think we need to just do it next week.
Impossible.
I think we should.
Well, I mean, you know how I feel about impossible in anything, whether you think you can or you think you can't. Either way, you're right. So for me, I'm like, shit, let's find out, because I think we can.
I'm with it because I'm
Okay,
curious.
I see what's going on.
I'm curious on y'all's viewpoints.
You're gonna be tremendously surprised. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
I want to say that my brothers aren't chauvinistic.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Okay.
We're just men.
I want to hear what you have to say. I'm looking so forward to it, and I'm
Right.
looking. And
Some of the comments that are said about men amongst the female community could be definitely considered hatred towards men. Like when you pinpoint, like I'm tall, so me saying the tall shit doesn't, like, I'm not short at all, but I still think it's wrong.
we still recognize it as
I'm not sure. I'm over 6 foot fucking one. I'm 6'2". I'm not short at all, but it still is crazy to me.
We see our counterparts having technical issues that she's probably not going to be able to fix before the show comes to an end. So I'm gonna just say your presence is missed, but we gonna hold you down in your absence.
Get your shit together.
Yeah, we'll see how it rock next week. Yeah, but yeah, I'm ready to have that conversation, but for less than obvious reasons, though. I got a secret agenda. I'll just put it like that.
I cannot wait. Oh my God.
Yeah,
but you see how we could, like, basically, before I gave the painting analogy, you were telling us that we had to like that damn painting.
I'm not saying you have to like it. I'm saying why were you saying something negative about what she's doing? Let her be who she is.
No, but you weren't there. You weren't there when the conversation took place. It started with, "Oh man, I'm tired of this one right here. Why can you? Well, because I'm tired of looking at." Okay. And that's when the description came in. Because my initial, I'm tired of seeing her, it had to be contested, as if, how dare you not be looking for every opportunity to indulge in Lizzo? What's wrong with you? That's how I got approached. And so it's like, oh, okay, well, in that case, let me unpack it for you.
Bruce is the epitome of masculinity and sexiness.
Yeah. You don't even hear men.
We don't do shit like that. We don't do shit like that.
Right. When women say the stuff they say about those of us that ain't really got it in order, we understand. But when men flip the coin and do the same thing, y'all getting y'all feelings. And it's like everybody got a right to their own opinion and their own viewpoint, their own likes and dislikes. Y'all do it.
And when a man is confident about himself, it don't matter if the motherfucker's 2'2" or 7 foot tall. If he's confident about himself, he gonna have what the fuck or whoever the fuck he wants.
We know that. We know that.
Okay.
That's why we accept.
No, hold on. Time out. Here's the point.
Bitch was 6 foot.
That's why we accept what women say, because we know that.
Here's the point, though. Here's the point that nobody wants to address. Sure, what you said is true. Okay. But if you got we gonna be more realistic. You got 5'2" and 6'2" with equal confidence and equal attractiveness, and everything else is basically along the same lines. That 5'2" nigga going home single. If you got to choose between one of them, stop telling lies. That's the whole point we're making. You know damn well you're not gonna say, take your tall ass on. I want to go procreate with this dude who's gonna give me a pygmy baby.
It depends. It depends. A lot of times it depends on the bank account.
He just said that they both got the same identical one. They both make $5 million. So scratch it.
Okay.
Time out though.
Him say that.
Time out though. The reason why that's so crazy is because when I said earlier that women are naturally inclined to look for provision, because that's all a bank account really equates to is provision. I mean, how come you didn't agree with that then? But clearly, that's how your mind operates now.
And do men accept that? No, hold on. Do men accept that?
Clearly,
men accept it though?
Yeah,
yes or no?
But clearly, that's not how everyone thinks.
Every nigga don't eat fried chicken. We already covered that.
They left because the conversation wasn't flowing.
No, she can't keep a charge.
This is weird being a viewer. She says she gonna bite your nose off.
Who, mine?
Oh,
because
shit.
I'm keeping it real though. Men accept it, man. When it all boils down to it, whatever women say they dislike or what they want out of a man, men accept it and try to at least step to to be at least some sort of that. How is that a lie?
You don't believe that? You don't believe that to be true?
Then what's Steve Harvey doing?
Ooh, no. Watching y'all. And
just
not
let her explain why you don't believe it to be true. Don't even ask her nothing. Explain why you don't believe that to be true.
That a man tries to do what a woman asks them.
That men in general are trying to meet the expectations of women in the area of relationships or dating or whatever you want to call it.
Because they want to have the bitch.
This is going to
No. What they want to have what? What does that have to do with whether or not they're attempting to meet the expectations?
Are they trying to meet the expectations or not?
Sometimes they are and sometimes they aren't.
Then what is dating? How does dating exist?
People don't date anymore.
How does dating? People do take women out on dates. How does dating exist if men aren't trying to meet what women are asking for? Why are niggas buying fancy cars? Why are niggas wearing Gucci? Why niggas getting gold teeth and gold necklaces? Why is niggas getting fades and dreadlocks? Why is niggas doing any of the shit that niggas do if they completely disregard everything women say?
It's not. Some of it is flexing, but a lot of it is because men understand that that's what's going to attract a woman. The flyer you are, and I'm not necessarily saying that it has to be a fancy car, but you don't want a bucket. You ain't got to have on no Jordans, but you not finna wear no Pro Wings. All of that matters. we can't even argue that. We already know that, like, yeah,
I agree because niggas don't
this
look
plays
at
a part on whether or not, I'm gonna attract female attention.
you're right because men don't look at women unless she has this on her. This if she's just walking around in ordinary whatever, she's not getting the second look.
Okay. Tell me a man that has told you that.
Not men, no man. That's just my opinion.
And this is what I mean. Like when we're saying that we accept what women's expectations are. Most men, I ain't gonna say most, the men who I know and have conversations with, the majority of those men would say, I prefer a woman without makeup. I prefer a woman who keeps it more natural. Maybe something a little bit on the eyes and some lip color. That's about it. But, on the flip side of that, a woman is going to do what she wants to do and ignore the expectation of what that a man might particularly want. That's why he was explaining what he was saying earlier about if we are trying to meet the expectations that are being put in front of us by the opposite sex, even though some of them are completely ridiculous, if we understand that it's in tune with their nature and we attempt to meet that request, why is it too much to ask for some reciprocity?
Okay, reciprocity.
No, I'm just saying. What if men?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
But why is it too much to ask?
What if men said, I need a bitch that's 5'10"?
Bitch, put on some heels.
Hey, I love it.
No, but I'm just saying. Okay, so if a little nigga puts on some elevated shoes, then what?
He's a little bit higher. He's a little bit taller. he's George Jefferson.
Oh,
Shit.
I just want to say this, that for a minute I thought I was going to really lose my mind. You guys probably would have to visit me at an institution because I had to watch the show and comment because my phone didn't have enough juice on it. And y'all was talking the maximum amount of shit. So I'm definitely looking forward to this topic because as we can see, we have different perspectives definitely when it comes to this. We know we have had some heated discussions about this.
Mm-hmm.
So if
But
we walk
just-
into an art gallery, the four of us walk into an art gallery right now,
Okay.
and me and Kasabi say, you know what? This painting right here, shitting on the rest of the paintings in here. And you and Tavon say that painting is garbage. Who's wrong?
Nobody. Everybody has a difference of opinion.
So
Lizzo,
the question was,
Lizzo,
why do I have to
Lizzo
like
is-
Lizzo's artwork?
Yeah,
But you don't have to like it, but she doesn't have to be a fat, disgusting bitch either.
Thank you. Thank
Then
you.
why does
Thank
But I
you.
didn't lead
Then
with
why
that
is
though.
Bruce
Like I
Bruce?
told you, but you weren't in the room when the conversation just started.
But that's what I heard.
did not lead with that. It was only when me saying, man, that artwork full of shit wasn't accepted as my sole opinion and I had to be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you want to see what misogyny and chauvinistic sound like. Let me give you a bar. That's when she got chopped down like an Irish oak. I did not lead with that. It's not how it happened.
Right.
I wasn't allowed to have my opinion, so I had to give a more
If
forceful
a man
opinion.
says that a skinny woman is not attractive, life goes on. But the minute a man says that a big woman is not attractive, he is the worst motherfucker that ever walked the planet. Why?
Can we agree though that you guys can't speak for all men, just like
Man,
we
listen,
can't speak
listen,
for all
listen.
women?
Did you hear what we said about black folks and fried chicken? Were you
Yes,
able to?
I
It's
was
a
watching. I was
generalization.
watching.
It's a
Niggas and fried
generalization.
chicken. Would
So
you agree?
the whole question,
That's
every
a
time I hear not all men, not all women, to me, that's just a deflection from the truth of the statement, because any thinking person knows that it doesn't apply to everybody. Like, that's not even on the table. Why are we even discussing that?
So if
Then if it doesn't apply,
if the statistics show,
hold on. Let her respond.
no,
I'm
I'm
literally posing
listening.
that to
B.
her.
Go ahead with your point.
No, go ahead.
I get upset because like you tried to say, oh, well, that was only secondary that you saying her was, fat, disgusting or whatever. That's when I get upset, when it's because it doesn't have to be broken down like that. Like Tusa was saying, just because it's not your type and we said it's a generalization, then it'd be safe to say that everybody has their own type. And that
nigga Lavelle Crawford fine as a motherfucker.
Right, but me and Valley have had this conversation.
Not an attractive motherfucker.
Listen, me and Valley have had these conversations, and my simple point was, how come she has to be referred to as disgusting? He was saying that there was not one man, if he's being honest with himself.
That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie.
Okay, so tell me this. Tell me this. If the bitch lost 100 goddamn pounds, would she be pretty then?
She'd be 207. Listen,
okay.
she still weighs 207
I'm gonna tell you what I said. I'm gonna tell you what I said.
She don't weigh that much.
I'm gonna tell you what I said.
She weighs 307.
I'm gonna tell you what I said. It doesn't matter how much she weighs. I'm gonna tell you what I said
right now. She weighs 307 pounds.
Here's what I said. If you took an actual sex symbol, like one that men have said that's what she is, not the world of women, because unless you're sleeping with women, having sex with them, then as a woman, you have no grounds to crown her as a sex symbol. That's point number one. Number two, what I said was, if you took an actual sex symbol and put her next to Lizzo, and you told 100 men they could only sleep with one of them, Lizzo gonna get passed by 100 times. That's what I said. Because time out. Because regardless if people want to address this or not, one of the differentiating things about men and women when it comes to sex is that we are 410% driven by appearance. We don't care how nice she was, sweet. If we're just talking about intercourse, they're not picking her. That's all I said. So
tell me this.
That's all I
said.
Got
two women. You got a pretty fat girl and a ugly than a motherfucker built.
That's not what I said though. But now you're trying to create a circumstance other than what I already presented. Because you can't just address the topic that's out there.
Okay.
So it would be safe to say that next week's discussion
is going. A fair example though. He said a nigga that's 5'2" and a nigga that's 6'2". They both got 10 million in the bank account. They both they're
nice. Equal on all playing fields. The only thing that separates them is the height.
But that short nigga might be a nice motherfucker, and that big person might be an
asshole. They're saying that they're equal.
The only thing that separates them is the height. Which one you picking?
The only thing that separates them is height. That's it.
Because I asked Kasabi this already, so I'm asking you: 5'2", 6'2". The qualities are the same across the board except for their height. Which one you picking?
Which one? It depends what their face looks like.
Well, they both fine in the motherfucker.
No, their qualities are equal across the board. Which one you picking?
I'm picking the short dude.
This is what we talking about when we say y'all.
I'm picking the short dude.
Have to be the same size, boy, the same gay and everything.
Keep it 100.
Ain't keep it real at all. Ain't keep it real at all.
Hey, I'm probably gonna pick the tall guy. No, all bullshit aside, I'm probably gonna pick the tall guy. But that's not real life scenario.
It is real life scenarios. There's plenty of niggas that's
no. It doesn't have to be. The point is still made that there is a preference that is general to women. There's a preference that's general to men.
And you just made a preference.
If it's acceptable on the female side, it should be readily acceptable on the male side. That's the overall point.
You get to walk away.
Are you sure? Because you just said we're really not equal.
What he's basically saying is you get to walk away with the 6'2", nigga, but I got to walk away with Liz or I got a problem with women.
I don't understand. I don't understand the argument. What is it even really about?
The fact that a woman is being herself and just being whatever she wants to be. It's a problem. Because she's a big bitch.
No, it's not a problem. She can be whatever she wants.
You're missing the
point. You're missing the point. We are not gonna elect Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, Lavelle Crawford to be on Men's Fitness to motivate us to our greatness. So why do women expect us to? I don't understand. Like,
It's not for
on the
you.
flip side of it, it's like,
Exactly.
come on,
Exactly.
man.
But why
It's
is
not for
Lizzo
you.
on the cover?
No.
of Women's Fitness?
If you were talking about success rating, that'd be one thing. But if you're talking about, as soon as you bring it to physical appearance, I'm challenging it from the top to the bottom, because we don't lie to each other like that. So why do women do it? We are not going to run and knock on Rick Ross's door and be like, man, you the swollest, most handsomest, most attractivest
No,
dude on
what
the
she's
planet.
doing
We're
is
not going to
giving-
lie to him like that.
Giving a good woman positive energy.
Right.
Right. You need to
And
be
she's
telling her to
providing,
take her ass to
and
the
she's
gym.
broadening a platform for women of all shapes to be comfortable in their skin.
Yes.
Niggas being fucking fat bitches. It's a dead argument. It's a dead argument. Fat bitches been on top before Lizzo. Fat bitches been getting dick before
Oh
Lizzo.
God.
We
And,
don't need Lizzo to fucking epitomize anything.
Hey, I think
hey,
it's safe
well,
to
if
say,
she's
I
riding
think
dick
it's
playing
safe
the
to
flute,
say,
isn't that something new?
hey, look, I think it's safe to say that we are the more forgiving. Men are the more forgiving when it comes to, you know,
Compassionate.
the
We're more
the,
compassionate.
undesirables of the opposite sex. We're the more forgiving.
What?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely more
Absolutely.
compassionate.
Okay.
Definitely more compassionate.
What world are you guys living in?
I don't know about compassion. I'm saying when it comes to the area of attractiveness, we're the more forgiving. All you gotta do is look around.
So
And
you're
tell me
saying
I'm
he's
wrong.
saying that to say that they're more likely to deal with a woman who doesn't meet their ideal standards than a woman is, correct? A woman is gonna be consistent.
Exactly. We're less vocal about it as well. Women are far more vocal about their standards than men.
So every woman has a man then, huh?
No, they could, but every nigga's not gonna be perfect. So
Look,
hey, you
look.
know,
So in other words, in your mind, I am single because niggas ain't perfect.
right?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know
I
about that.
do. I'm doubling down.
I can't stand, and that's why I said in the comments, I'm like your nose off
I'm doubling down.
because that's not true.
And even if the nigga was perfect, motherfucker gonna find something.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that generally, I mean, you could just listen in conversations in public, in real life, on the television, on YouTube, social media, and everybody's going to have the same general ideology. And I'm being extreme when I say this, but this is how it breaks down. From a woman's standpoint, oh girl, I gotta make sure he's this. I gotta make sure he's that. He think he just gonna do this. He think he just gonna do that. So what basically is being said is that I'm gonna sit in my perfection that he ought to just recognize off the top. Meanwhile, I'm gonna crawl up his rear end with a microscope to make sure he is able to be graced with my presence. Do you see the imbalance off the top?
And I'm still gonna.
That's not every woman. That's a super.
Okay, every black person don't eat fried chicken.
Okay, we have a
How many
comment.
times we gotta say it ain't every? We know that already.
We have a comment out there.
Speaking.
Read the comment.
Read the comment.
Hold on. We're
Where's
gonna
it
go
at?
ahead and
I
put it
can't
on the
even see
screen
it.
right quick.
It says,
I feel like women are more inclined to settle on the looks.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mrs. Dina Cowan says, I feel like that women are more likely inclined to settle on the looks. They rather have someone who makes them feel good, make them laugh, in comment, etc., etc. And I agree.
Call bullshit.
Yeah.
I call bullshit.
I agree.
I call bullshit. I call bullshit because, again, if you actually, like, I people watch, I pay attention to what's going on. When you see, because we're talking about an attractive woman, for her to be settling, so to speak, that means she has action at the cream of the crop. for an attractive woman to date down, he's not gonna be broke. This is an contributing factor. It's not because, oh, well, he made me laugh more than this guy over here, so I went with him. Let's just be honest about what it was. He dangled some shiny shit in your face and he was like, well, suddenly he's cute. They're not settling. They're not settling because of this bullshit that's in this comment. Women do settle, but it is not because somebody made them laugh. How long is that shit really gonna last? Let's be honest about that.
Exactly.
Come on now.
I'm tired of this fat ugly motherfucker.
Come on now. Let's just be honest about that.
Hey, the rinse dude. I'm tired of this fat ugly motherfucker and his jokes.
Exactly. Let's keep it 100.
I'm tired of this short, sawed off motherfucker and his jokes. The rinse dude.
Oh, we have another comment.
We have another. Yes. Go ahead, read it.
They say men fake love for sex and women give sex for love.
Some men, I think there's enough
we
of us
have
to.
We
I think that's a true statement too. But I don't have to a certain degree because women give sex for love.
No.
I'm speaking from the men's side. I don't know what the hell y'all doing. From the men's side, I think that's a fair statement. Like, it's enough of us that get down just like that to where I have to say that's a fair statement.
So you fake being in love for sex?
I didn't say me.
Okay, well, men
Aisha, hold on. Let me tell you from a man's perspective to make it real simple. If you don't fake love for sex, you ain't never gonna get the shit.
I don't know about that either, but I'm just saying that there's enough of us out here that are doing that to where I have to say that's a fair statement.
It's
wow.
Fair. It's
well, I mean,
they're not faking love for sex. They're faking love for the bitch's money is what they're faking it for.
No.
Well, and see, and that's what I was gonna jump on. I was gonna jump on the fact that there's plenty. Hold on. I'm talking. I got the mic. There are plenty of men who are using women for money right now. So if it's true that only women are after, if he got a big fat bank account, his jokes is gonna wear off. Well, it sounds like it's an even playing field on that too. There's plenty of men who are just with women because they got a house or they got. It's not just the sex.
Because of her, he's in her bank account.
Right. It goes both ways.
So when you're on the date nap, right? The first thing a man asks you is how much you make, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's the type of shit men be encountering.
That's what we got to deal with. The first thing we gonna get asked is how much we make.
Okay,
I have never asked a man. I have never asked a man how much money he made. Are you crazy?
Time out. Because we can't look at it as if it's being done directly. So what do you do for a living? That's the because men are straightforward. We understand that when translated, that literally means how much money you make.
And that's means
so
something
it's the
to
same
a man.
thing.
If a woman doesn't make a lot of money, then she's not worth talking to.
Well, I guess that's not true because they're just with her faking love for sex.
No, here's the point. Kevin Samuels used to always say, if a man makes
Kevin Samuels. Now,
if a man makes $50,000 a year, would you be with him?
If he loved me.
Okay.
Point made. I made my point already.
Okay, so I think it's safe to say that because obviously
we need to have
men are out here. Men are not out here single at some astonishing rates. And on average, they knocking down 40, 50 grand a year. So clearly a woman would be with them. That's not the question. Really, it comes down to if you had it your way, would you like him to make more money if you had the choice? Okay.
If I had the choice, yes.
Okay. So then it's fair to say then that like what I said earlier is true. When I said that women typically by nature would like to have someone that can provide for them. Both of y'all turned your nose up at the shit earlier. And as we've gone through conversation, it proved to be a true statement to begin with.
So is a man that makes $55,000 a year broke?
I already know they're not gonna say no to that. That question don't really apply to them. We got to get some people on the panel because some gonna say, yeah, he's broke. He's the same as a nigga sleeping on the sidewalk
for that paycheck. Without that one, if he misses one paycheck, he's fucked up.
Right, but I mean,
so you
but
saying
for
that?
me,
So
for
how
me,
come? Oh, wait. So how come some people can make $55,000 a year? Next thing you know, they got a business. Next thing you know, they, how come people are doing it with less?
right?
And
So
it's not
I still want to hear Maisha's comment to the first question.
Me being the only single person on this panel, and yes, I'm single. So if all you gentlemen watching want to chime in, please feel free to do so. I am accepting applications. But anyways,
you gotta make 6 figures. You gotta be 6'3".
Don't you see how you fucking me up like that? 6 figures and 6'3", huh? That's not true. What I was saying, that if a man made $55,000, I would think that is a fair amount of money. I don't have an expectation that they have to make no $100,000 a year. I don't, because I'm being realistic in the kind of people that I actually come into contact with. If I had a better job myself or was out there in a different lifestyle where I came into contact with men who was making millions or stuff, my expectation might be higher. But for me, I just think that part, 55,000 is not going to be a turnoff for me. Because again, together we could grow that money.
Mm-hmm.
He can grow without you. But that was my point. You got everybody that's rich didn't start off with 6 figures.
Right.
So to exclude somebody from the financially worthy category simply because they don't make what you think rich people made before they were rich.
I feel it though.
You don't give it 100 as fuck though. Niggas did one with 83 million. He made that shit, and he started off making $29,000 a year at McDonald's.
Okay, it says it would be nice to have their mate meet them financially, but not all households are set up that way. Okay, so let me ask this, because I think this is what Jabbar was getting. I mean, excuse me, what Deez was getting at earlier. If problems arise and attitudes flare, okay, let's just be honest, because I know I can be honest on my end of it. Let's just be honest.
Okay.
If a man who is not meeting you financially cops an attitude or makes a complaint about something that's not going on, is it gonna be dealt with the same way as a man who was exceeding you financially, copping an attitude or making a complaint?
I think we just have to be honest in the bigger picture, since we're not talking specifics at this point. I think that the bigger picture is going to say, yeah, they're going to look over and be like, okay, we already arguing and this nigga's broke, get the fuck out.
So then it's a fact. It's safe to say that it's a factor then.
What's broke? Not 6 figures is the only way to determine if somebody's broke.
And I just said that no. So I don't want to have to reiterate that again, because no, 6 figures does not mean a brother's broke.
Okay.
He can be broke with 6 figures.
Okay.
He can be spiritually broke. He can be emotionally broke.
Let me address this one right quick.
That he's got debt stacked up to here, but he makes 6 figures. He's still broke after every paycheck.
I'm sure. So that's why I was gonna say this, and since because I was told I can't keep it all the way real. Even a rich nigga talking shit to me is gonna be a turnoff.
We didn't say it was gonna be a turnoff. I asked, how are you gonna respond?
If you know he pays.
Okay, so if I'm living in a situation where he is the breadwinner, I know me, and my mouth is reckless. Okay, I'm gonna talk some shit, but I also know me. If I really love that person and want to try to work on it, I'm gonna say whether they're rich, whether they're poor, whether they're short, whether they're tall, what all of that. And I've done it in relationships before. So I feel like that none of that is the stature for me.
You know what happens in these conversations, and I think this is the reason why it's so hard to start dialogue. If I get on here and say, man, all, you know, women in general, they be gold digging. I'm not a gold digger. Can we talk about the subject? We're not talking about you. You are not blind enough to have not seen that the shit I just gave an example of is a reality. It doesn't have to apply to you.
Okay,
It's still a reality.
Right.
There are
That would be just like if you say, oh man, it's niggas out here killing each other and selling dope, doing all that. Man, I don't live that way. It's still happening though.
Okay, so in that answer, I'm going to say yes. There are plenty of women who stay in situations based off of finance. There are plenty of women who meet men based off of finance. If we're talking in the bigger picture, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know, you know, if a chick ain't combing her head and ain't handling her business and do it, you know, she ain't doing what she's supposed to be doing. Not supposed to, but what she could be doing. She's got a whole lot less leeway with what she gonna complain about and what attitude she gonna catch with me. And I have no shame saying that. I don't care if the whole rest of the world think that's the reality, because I know that that's how it goes. Somebody who's not handling their business has far less of an argument. It'd be no different than if we was on a job in a meeting, and the person who always shows up late to work, they call out sick, they ain't handling their business, steps up and makes a complaint. Everybody in there is gonna be like, oh man, this fool full of shit. But in that realm of life, nobody takes any shame in making that statement. We flip it over to relationships, and suddenly the human mind don't work that way no more.
Okay.
I mean, come on. That's what happens. If you ain't handling your business, you have less room for complaint. Straight up. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. You have less room for complaint.
Brothers and sisters.
So then I don't understand how we just went down that whole line of stuff acting as if that wasn't reality. Like that's not the reality of human interaction.
Let's have this debate next week.
Do you even know what you're doing right now?
I think it's impossible to have this.
I think we're off to a good start. This is a good test run.
It definitely is.
It's a good test run.
It definitely is.
I think the best way to get through it is to understand that, like how I am. I don't give a damn what none of y'all think. My opinion is my opinion. So if you could arrive at that place, it's all good. You know?
Because I'm kind of the same way. Like, fuck, I don't. Nah,
I should give a damn that my opinion is different than hers.
Look, 3 of us liked the painting, 2 of us didn't. I don't give a fuck about that thing.
Your nose. I'm biting off your nose.
I don't have to like Lizzo's artwork.
Right, exactly.
You don't have to like a nigga if he's show. I damn sure ain't gotta like Lizzo.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, and it's been this way since the beginning of time, really. Well, maybe not since the beginning, but since all this women's lib and all this women's right and equality and all that. So let's have the debate. Let's get the shit out in the open. Yeah. That's going to be, this is going to be the one that sends us all the way to the top.
I'm just to make sure, because I don't think you do, but it damn near sounded like you do. Are you a proponent of women's rights and equality and all that other shit? Yes or no? We don't got to go into it. Just yes or no.
I think that women should get paid the same as men if they're doing the same kind of job. Yes.
How come I can't get a desk job making $100,000 then?
I just want to punch you guys because it's like I'm going on a yo-yo.
It was a yes or no question.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to answer yes or no questions.
How come me with a college with a high school diploma can't go work for Kaiser and make $97,000, but a woman can?
Well, no, it's okay. We're not going to say that a man can't.
Right.
But that job is going to be predominantly women. That's what we are going to say.
What job
Well,
is that?
It's gonna
hey,
be-
hey,
it's gonna be
listen, the
sprinkled-
person
it's gonna
who
be
hired
sprinkled
them,
with the men.
the person who hired him might have been all, maybe it was a man and all he was looking at was their ass.
He might have. We never know. The whole point. The whole
The whole
point. Still,
point
the
is
fact still
that
remains.
takes
though.
up for the wage gap.
The facts exactly.
Yeah.
The fact still remains.
Okay. So, and that kind of bleeds into women making more money. And in your guys' opinion, or in the opinions of a lot of others, women then become too independent and then they get into that I don't need a man syndrome. Are you
That's just like a motherfucker saying I don't need food.
Well, I don't know. I think when I hear I say a woman's well off financially, and I hear her say, I get all the money. I mean, I get all this money and I pay all my bills, so I don't need a man. I think she deserves to die alone. And the reason why I say that, no, hold on, time out. The reason why I say that is because what she has in effect said is that the only value a man carries in her mind is financial value.
Right.
So she don't deserve a man anyway.
Right, because she's not gonna
Because she don't value one.
Yeah, she don't value him. She's not gonna treat him right.
Yeah, she
And we
deserves
see
to
that
die
all
alone.
the time. We see plenty of rich men get dogged out by women all the time. Money doesn't make the bitch act right.
or the bitch ass nigga.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Men are actually making strides to take care of women, though. That's what I was saying. It's different for us.
I just wonder because I
we
don't know.
still listening to what women are saying and trying to implement that to make ourselves better for their liking.
I don't feel sorry for men who get dogged out by women that they know they only have because of their financial prowess.
Right.
I don't feel sorry for women who get dogged out by men who they know they only have because of whatever it is. It's not about, if it's not about an actual connection, like you got with this person for whatever individual benefit it was to you, and you knew that was the only reason why you was messing with him, and you get dogged out. I don't feel sorry for nobody on either side of that coin. Do shit for the right reasons. And if it don't work out, then at least you can look in the mirror and say, my intentions was pure. And, I pushed 100%. But if you, hey, I'm with this chick, just because I can afford her. And then she dogged you out later on. That's what you get. Oh, hey, well, I'm with this dude just because, he makes it easy on me because of his finances. And you get dogged out later on. That's what you get. Be with people for the right reason.
You should be. Now that's a agreed statement right there.
Playing a dirty game. You got what you got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we gonna unpack it a little further. We y'all better do your homework.
Come with your A game on.
No, we got our A game. We got questions that stump y'all every time we say something.
Well, what I don't want to do in the next conversation is, well, that's not everybody. That's not. We know that already.
Goddamn, niggas like fried chicken.
Let's just keep the dialogue going because there's certain stuff that we know that already.
Yeah, niggas like fried chicken. Just think that. Niggas like fried chicken.
like Breon said, I like chicken wings.
Right. Look. All niggas don't like fried chicken. But enough niggas like fried chicken for me to say niggas like fried chicken.
Okay.
Right. We know it don't apply to everybody, Yeah.
We know everybody don't like it.
Just like the comment that Tremaine made. And shout out, big bro. Appreciate you jumping in. But yeah, just like the comment he made, I can't just let the fact that I'm a man allow me to say that that's false. And I think women do that more than us. They'd be like, oh, well, I'm a woman, so I can't agree with that because it might call into question the rest of the society of women. If they're guilty of it, then why wouldn't you be? Why are you afraid to speak the truth on?
Secretive nature. It's the keep the wool over them dumbass niggas' eyes type mentality. You know what I'm saying? We can't let them niggas know that. We can't let them niggas know that.
Yeah. So anyway, I think I'm ready for it for next week. you know, we can dive all the way in on it. We spent a good 20 minutes on this topic already, maybe a little bit
More than
longer
20.
that. Yeah, but I think I want to get some people involved in this, just so we can get a broader perspective on what it is that men think and what women think.
So that's going to be the title of the show?
Well, we'll figure out the title at some point. You know,
Shout out to the homie Lab. What's up with you, homie? I see you, bruh.
What's going on with you, bro? Appreciate you tapping in. Yeah, we'll figure out the title between now and then, but subject matter, yeah, basically.
'Cause I'm gonna make a commercial.
Me too. Exactly. I will be making sure that my followers are connected. Although
I am making a commercial.
it is gonna be, yeah.
Do you want to see two brothers destroy their sisters?
I'll slap you all the way through the screen.
Oh, man.
Like a motherfucker, okay? And push the nigga through the window when they was kids.
Oh God, here we go. Look.
Look.
And cue. Music. Get the music.
Motherfucker crazy around here.
That meant the music.
You know they say history repeats itself. Everything in life works in a cycle. That's big facts too. If we stop and just look and watch me go from circling my city and letting the wheels spin to circumnavigating the globe, that's a real win. Top dollar for my people back home. A note to self, don't abandon your identity in pursuit of this wealth. Just keep it real, baby. Watch how
see you
move
on the
and
after
who you
one,
move with.
in the
'Cause
after
folk
hour
ain't always
comment.
kinfolk, some of us clueless to the nuts and bolts that build the framework of the